What's up, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Suzanne Vega, and we're returning to her self-titled album, 1985. Thank you again to Sophia. And we're going to listen to Night Moves, which is a track that a couple people mentioned when I started going through the album, and given that we're sort of jumping around a bit, I figured I'd listen to this one next. Luca, are you coming up? What's happening here? She's thinking about it. Taking a long, circuitous route, and still undecided on the point. I guess we'll find out. But yeah, it's an interesting phrase that makes me think of a chessboard, the way a knight piece moves forward and to the side, which I don't know if that's the context of the phrase, and perhaps it has something else behind it entirely, but spelling it knight with a K certainly makes you think of a knight in the medieval or Middle Ages sense. So if it's not related to chess and the movement of pieces on a board, which of course is great fodder for figurative or metaphorical concepts, then I'm not quite sure what to make of it. But I will say the Queen and the Soldier on the same album as a track called Night Moves suggests that maybe there's some larger conceptual themes that were being explored across the record. Either way, I'll pick up what I can on a first listen. This is Suzanne Vega. The track is Night Moves, and it's a track from her 1985 self-titled album.
Watch while the queen, in one false move, turns herself into a pawn.
Oh yeah.
Sleepy and shaken, and watching while the blurry night turns into a very clear dawn. Do you love any? Do you love none? Do you love many? Can you love one? Do you love me? Do you love any? Do you love none? Do you love 20? Can you love one? Do you love me? One false move and a secret prophecy. Well, if you hold it against her, first hold it up and see that it's one-side stone, one-side fire, standing alone among all men's desire. They want to know, do you love any? Do you love none? Do you love many? Can you love one? Do you love me? Do you love any? Do you love none? Do you love 20? Can you love one? Do you love me? And if you wonder what I am doing as I am heading for the sink, I am spitting out all the bitterness along with half of my last drink. I am thinking of your woman who is crying in the hall. It's like drinking gasoline to quench her thirst until there's nothing there left at all. Do you love any? Do you love none? Do you love many? Can you love one? Do you love me? Do you love any? Do you love none? Do you love 20? Can you love one? Do you love me? And walk on her blind side was the answer to the joke. It said there isn't a political bone in her body. Well, she would rather be a riddle, but she keeps challenging the future with a profound lack of history. Do you love any? Do you love none? Do you love many? Can you love one? Do you love me? Do you love any? Do you love none? Do you love 20? Can you love one? Do you love me? Watch while the queen, in one false move, turns herself into a pawn. Sleepy and shaken, and watching while the blurry night turns into a very clear dawn. Do you love me? Do you love me? Do you love me? Do you love me?
Wow, it wasn't a particularly long song, but I have a lot to say about this. Yeah, under 4 minutes. So again, the artistry, the guitar poet feel very strong. At the same time, it had a large Baroque feeling. It sounded almost like harpsichord and flute, the sort of sonic configuration in a chamber piece. And what I caught from the lyrics, I'm curious to hear what people will say, but what it sounded like is maybe the narrator is a woman who's had an encounter with a man who she now realizes was maybe with someone else, and she's feeling almost sick about it and bitter and spitting out the rest of her drink while the man's woman is crying somewhere. So it sounds like she thought there was this special connection, but then she's saying, do you love all the pieces on the board? You've turned your queen back into a pawn, which if you play chess, you know that you can actually, if you get your pawn all the way across the board, turn it into a queen, which is the most powerful piece, not only a much more powerful piece, and a queen in the context of relationships, and a woman is, the one, the only. So it sounds like this woman who was officially with this guy realizes that she's not the only one and she's been downgraded, and the woman, again, if I'm getting this right, who thought there was maybe something special with this man, realizes that he probably, or at least potentially, does this a lot. And so she's asking, can you love one, or do you love 20? Do you love none of them, or do you love all of them? She's not sure what the emotional perspective of this guy is, and maybe where she stands, or even what she wants now that she knows this larger truth. So there were a couple other lines that maybe felt like there was, some even larger themes going on, but just the narrative part that I caught sounded very intense and powerful. The way she had that halting delivery where it's rapid fire, but there's sort of breaks in between the lines, was a very compelling vocal delivery and composition. I like the acoustic guitar, but also that Baroque sound, which I wonder if the flute and harpsichord or even organ sounds that I was hearing are more or less straightaway keyboards, but done in a way that, again, gave them this chamber music feel. So a really interesting tune, and again, Queens being referenced multiple times on the album, and here talking about a knight, which a knight is like a Middle Ages version of a soldier. It really makes me feel like there must be some larger concepts being explored across the record. So, fantastic once again. Thank you again to Sophia. Do let me know what you think, and Luca the Sleeping Cat and I will see you next time. Peace.